One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, you can go ahead and hit save. And then if you go to the no, if you go to the website, you should be able to go like hear it now. Yep.
It won't do it until you go start. But I just wanted to make sure, and then I can get the link off here.
Well, the Hoppers got one under their belt yesterday. It's time to take the Hop Show on the road. Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Crothers, joining you here on Hoptown Hoppers TV. Coming to you live from Fulton, Kentucky, where the Hoptown Hoppers are about to play their first road game of the season, taking on the Fulton Railroaders. Again, last night was their home opener, a whiteout, the season opener to the Ohio Valley League season, and they came out on fire. Came out the gate really, really well, scoring 5 within the first 2 innings and winning the game 6-0, led by Chance Todd's impressive efforts, going 7 innings to start the game, closed out by Hudson Hamilton behind him. Looking to replicate that here today. Of course, on the road, they'll be batting first with Fulton in the field. Let's take a look at today's starting pitcher, though you can't really see him necessarily right now for the Fulton Railroaders. It is Troy Jocelyn out there in the orange, as Hoptown sporting their black tops with the white stripes on. And we'll talk about him here in a moment as we get ready for pitch number 1 of the day. It's Easton Beatty to lead things off, and we're ready for game 2 of the season. First pitch is a ball outside. It'll be Beatty with Ryan McCartan on deck behind him. Second pitch from Jocelyn over to the left side. First baseman grabs it, gloves it, and throws it over to Xander Smith at first in time for out number 1. With that, let's take a moment to recognize the defensive alignments for the Railroaders here in game 1. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be Ellis Hart, Jacob Lott, J.R. North in right field. In the infield, starting at third base, it's Nick Kiossi, Thomas Kuhn, Owen Phillips, Xander Smith. And behind the dish today is Easton Sullivan fielding the pitches from Troy Jocelyn. Second pitch to Ryan McCartan. Second batter, first pitch to McCartan, swings through it for strike 1. McCartan playing right field today, did not appear in yesterday's game, so here's his first at-bat in a Hoppers uniform. The second pitch, swings through it again, and he's so behind 0-2. Taking a look at Troy Jocelyn, he's from Jackson State Community College. Had 16 appearances on the year. The 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball 1. And it looks like the score bug is not updating like it was early yesterday. I'll make sure we get that fixed here soon. But now the 1-1 pitch, 1-2 pitch, the scoreboard is not updated. That's a 2-2 pitch now coming up for you, as that one was outside. No one on the base pads, 1 out early here in Fulton. The 2-2. Left plenty outside. That's the furthest that Jocelyn has missed so far today. That was give or take a foot in the opposite batter's box. All set now. Here's the full count pitch. From the windup, Jocelyn delivers. McCartan hacks at it and will tip it off to stay alive. Look at Jocelyn's line from this past season that he just finished up his freshman year with Jackson State. 16.38 ERA in 16 appearances. We're in 20.1 innings of work. Gave up 41 runs. 40 of those were earned. 3-2 again, right down the middle. And McCartan is rung up on strikes. Get a big applaud here from the home faithful. This is game 1 of the year at home for the Fulton Railroaders. Last night, they were on the road taking on the Henderson Flash, and they lost that one 10-0 in 7 innings. It was an ugly start for the Orange out there, looking to make up for it in front of the home crowd. First pitch is swung on and fouled backwards by Dom Hartman. He's behind the count 0-1. Hartman did play yesterday over at third. He was a defensive highlight and was fantastic in the field as well at the plate. He went 1 for 4, but it was that 3-run homer back in the second inning that really shut down any momentum that Madisonville was hoping to build off of. But now the 0-1 pitch to Hartman. Thought about going around again, holds up, but still called a strike. Hartman takes a moment out of the box with an 0-2 count. Troy Johnson's been working pretty quickly so far. Here he is to deliver again. And Hartman's still alive. That one's plenty out of play. Watch out for the cars. I'm not hearing anything, so everything should be okay over there. You never know. The parking lot is very, very close, and If you're very involved with baseball, never the park too close. The 0-2 again, the Hartman right back up the middle. That'll be Owen Phillips to glove it. Throw it over the first, and it's there in time. 3 up, 3 down for Jocelyn. We'll be right back in the bottom of the first with the Hoppers in the field. Back now at the bottom of the first inning here in Fulton, Kentucky. It was 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the inning for the Hoppers. Now they go to glove the field. It'll be Carter Ross on the mound today to start things up for the Hoptown Hoppers. You can't see him too much there, but Carter Ross just finished up his freshman year over at Midway, which is also where Chance Todd is from, who had that fantastic outing last night. Carter Ross from Somerset, Kentucky, recorded 5 appearances and 9 innings of work where had a 6 ERA, 7 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 6 Ks, gave up a double and a pair of home runs, and he also hit 4 batters throughout the season. So decent amount of work under his belt, nothing too crazy now, but ready to get started in a Hoptown uniform. His first batter he'll face is the shortstop, Thomas Kuhn. His first pitch is right there. The shortstop, Caden Slaughter, makes the leap for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Can't get much better than that. Well, stepping up now in the 2 spot will be Nick Cossey, the third baseman. Let's take a look at the defensive alignments real quick, though, for Hoptown. In the outfield, it's Reed Hayes back in left field where he was last night. Easton Beatty again in the lineup. He was in right field yesterday and center field today. And in right field is Ryan McCartan. The first pitch, the Cossey misses low. In the infield for the Hoptown Hoppers, starting at third base is Dom Hartman. Caden Slaughter back at short. Cade Wall over at second. Declan Riggs at first yet again. And behind the dish is Mark Harmon today. The 1-0 is fouled off backwards. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. They'll start off the bottom of the first inning. Nick Cossey from Motlow State Community College, where he hit .395 batting average with a .476 on-base percentage. The 1-1 popped up over on the right side of the infield. Wall calls off Riggs and grabs it for out number 2. Only 4 pitches thrown so far from Carter Ross. This is early deja vu to last night. Again, the big part with the really, really good start from Chance Todd was his efficiency and getting out of innings quickly. And now stepping up in the 3 spot is the center fielder, Jacob Lott. This one's popped up yet again. First pitch he swings at. Easton Beatty camped underneath it in center field. It's a 5-pitch first inning to get out of it for Carter Ross. 3 up, 3 down to replicate the top half of the inning. We'll see if the Hoppers bats can wake up when we return. after an extremely quick first inning on both sides of the ball. We're getting ready for the second inning of action. And real quick again on your screen, I'm going to take a look at this field. If you can tell, looking at left field, everything's normal, and you start working over the right field, that's when you start to notice the difference. As Declan Riggs steps up, his first pitch misses low for a ball. Yeah, this is my first time here, and for others that are tuning in have never been here, never heard of this field, I was warned throughout the week that it's a weird field. As the 1-0 pitch comes in, Riggs hacks at it, and it's over to Phillips at second, who will get the easy grounder for out number 1. But again, it's keeping it right here. If you look at the field, you can't tell perfectly on screen, but right field is about, and it says online, 225 down the line, which is extremely short. I'm here to tell you in person, it's probably shorter than that. There is a tall wall and a big net above it, which it sounds like they're making that in play, which is shocking to me. But yeah, it looks like a box from back here, as that one's right down the middle to Reed Hayes. Reed Hayes went 1 for 4 yesterday. His second pitch, swings at and misses, fooled on an off-speed pitch. Behind quickly 0-2. Yeah, I'm just really impressed. Like, left field's normal, center field's really deep because it's literally just a corner out there, and it's stopped by the road, so that's why it's so short in right field. The 0-2 pitch quickly is left high. It'll be a 1-2 count. And Reed Hayes is transferring after spending his first collegiate season at UND. He's now attending Lansing Community College as the 1-2 pitch comes in. It's a dribbler over on the left side, picked up by Cossey at third, is overthrown. He's taking off for second, and he holds up and returns back safely to first base as Anders Smith got on it quickly. So he'll reach via the air. So not a base hit yet, but that one goes down as an E5. Now stepping up in the 6th spot will be Mark Harmon. And no, if you are very familiar with the show, that is not the actor from NCIS. That is Mark Harmon from Midway as well. Finishing up his freshman year. He's actually Mark Harmon Jr., if you want to be more accurate about it. Tonight's catcher. His first at-bat in a Hoptown uniform, fouls it off on the right side. Decent setup behind the plate today. Gotta be thankful for what we've been given here. 0-1 pitch coming from Jocelyn, takes a few looks over the first, now delivers. Harmon attacks and fouls it off in the same exact spot. You've got a runner on first base after the air. That is, of course, Reed Hayes. Only one out so far in the top of the second inning. Harmon from Fisherville, Kentucky, batted 182, but only on 11 at-bats this past season. The 0-2 pitch. Over to right field and out of play again. Here's the weird thing we were talking about earlier this week. You had that conversation with Hoptown head coach Chris Benny, and you could have a great day pitching at this ballpark, but still give up a couple of home runs because of how shallow it is in right field. That one from Mark Harmon barely got off the bat, but was still 3/4 of the way up the line. This one right back up the middle, gets off the foot of Jocelyn. He'll race over the first base. Harmon loses. He's out at first, but advances the runner to second base. So out number 2, that one was smoked from Harmon. But unfortunately for him, the pitcher, Troy Jocelyn, was right there for it, as they're going to send out their assistant coach right now, Josh Wooten, to check on him. He didn't have to get more than halfway out there before he got the thumbs up saying, "I'm okay, coach. I'm good to go." Stepping up now in the 7th spot, the DH in this ball game will be Carson Knowles. Just spent his first year at Vol State Community College. Did not record any stats, but he told me yesterday he's mostly looking just to knock the rust off, just get on base. He's not swinging out of his shoes just yet, as that one misses outside the first pitch he sees. And he mentioned, sure, the home runs are cool and all, but he's not looking for a big blast in his first at-bat that he sees this summer season. He's looking just to get on and put bat to ball. The 1-0 pitch from Jocelyn, and fouled off on the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike now the Carson Knowles. You actually heard it on the pregame show yesterday. But Carson Knowles, it was briefly mentioned, not really. It was kind of roundabout mentioned by Chris Benny. But he said there's a 4-time state champion on this team. Well, you're looking at him right here. That is Carson Knowles. And he'll swing and miss on a curveball, making it a 1-2 count. Yeah, Knowles, the 4-time state champion, 2 times when he was on the varsity roster with Eagleville High School over in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That was also part of a 43-game postseason win streak. Knowles blasts one to deep left field. Ellis Hurt is chasing it. It falls down. Reed Hayes is going to score. Carson Knowles is holding up at second base. An RBI double for the freshman. Hoppers on the board first with a 1-0 lead. A 2-out swing from Carson Knowles, and a beautiful one at that. The Hoppers strike first in Fulton. Now stepping up is the shortstop, Caden Slaughter. First pitch, he'll watch down on the right side for a strike. Slaughter actually pinch hit yesterday for Cole Reynolds and would play out the rest of the game after Cole Reynolds went 3 for 3 on the day with 3 singles. Troy Jocelyn now set and delivers. That one misses and low. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Troy Jocelyn's been solid in the zone for the most part, but the ones that he have missed have not been too close. He's also one of 9 returning players for this team from last year's roster. So he was here with Fulton last year and, of course, back again. The even 1-1 and will be called a time from Caden Slaughter. A long pause from Jocelyn there on the bump. Slaughter, when he pinch hit, went 0 for 2 yesterday. So our home plate umpire is going to have a conversation with our field umpire, it looks like, after Fulton's coaches, I believe that would be head coach J.D. Willis, asked for clarification. Their head coach J.D. Willis is a grad assistant for Willamette University up in Salem, Oregon. Yeah, we're down here in Kentucky and Tennessee, and I've got a grad assistant from Oregon. More you know. Nonetheless, we're back to action now. Jocelyn now set with the 1-1 pitch finally, and full Slaughter on the curve. 1 ball, 2 strike. It looks like he just swung right over top of it. Slaughter still looking for his first base hit in the very shallow 2026 season so far. Jocelyn from the stretch kicks and delivers and gets Slaughter the chase at one about a foot above his head for strike number 3. But before that, the Hoppers scratch across one off an RBI double from Carson Knowles. It's an early lead as we head to the bottom of the second. Welcome back to some Ohio Valley League baseball here on Hoptown Hoppers TV. Hoppers lead 1-0 after an RBI double from Carson Knowles after going 3 up, 3 down last inning. Fulton Railroaders look to replicate it. They'll start off with their cleanup batter in the order. It's Easton Sullivan, the catcher. Carter Ross still out there as he's now set from the stretch for his first pitch. And fools him with a changeup for strike one. Carter Ross has been working from the stretch all day. Obviously, no one's been on the base pads against him so far, but it doesn't affect him. He wants to go from the stretch either way. That one too far inside on the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Facing Easton Sullivan, who just graduated from Greenfield High School in Sharon, Tennessee. He's committed to play at Delta State at D2 College down in Mississippi. That one misses high, and Ross falls behind 2-0. We'll round up Ross's numbers last inning. 9 innings under his belt with Midway this year. As the 2-1 pitch is delivered and missed on the fastball. Blew it by him to even the count at 2 apiece. Even though he's got 9 pitches this spring, he faced Siena Heights on February 20th. Did not pitch all of March and then appeared again on April 1st. So he went a month without seeing action as he gets him with the curve right down the middle for his first strikeout of the day. Catches the Sullivan looking. Beautiful pitch right there. Will bring up Ellis Hurt, the left fielder for the Railroaders squad. Hurt attended Kentucky Wesleyan, where he transferred from Trevecca Nazarene before that. His first pitch of the day, left side foul on the ground. We'll start with an 0-1 count. Hurt's also one of those guys, one of those 9 that played with Fulton in the 2025 season. Carter Ross with the 0-1 pitch. Gets him on the fastball in the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second, no one on the base pads as the Hoppers lead 1-0. Looking for back-to-back Ks. Ross delivers. And it's fouled off behind us and actually hits on top of the roof here, if you will. Hasn't seen it roll down yet. There's a slight slant here on the roof for that purpose. But nothing happens. The 0-2 again from Carter Ross. Delivers to the plate. This one popped up on the right side. Riggs giving it chase from first base and will hold up as it's out of play. Hurt's giving a good fight right now at the plate. He's fouled off 2 consecutively, trying to avoid the back-to-back Ks in this lineup. Ross to do the 0-2 yet again. The pitch. But he tries the curve, and it's outside. Looked like it slipped out of his hand maybe a tad bit early, as that one popped out of his finger at the top of his release point. That's why it didn't break back into the zone. Now they'll try the 1-2. And that one's fouled into the fence backwards. Still the 1-2 on deck for the Fulton Railroaders. They've got their second baseman, Owen Phillips. Behind him, J.R. North. And then in the 8-9 spot, it'll be Xander Smith, and Jeremiah Bowen. Deep breath from Carter Ross as he delivers. And misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Carter Ross. Only walked 4 batters in his 9 innings of work this past spring. So he's been really dominant with keeping it in the zone. The 2-2 pitch is fouled backwards. Hurt has now fouled off 4 pitches to stay alive. The lengthiest at-bat by far of the day for the Railroaders, even though it's still very early in this one. But Hurt's been given the best fight so far. Again, Ross 4 walks and 6 strikeouts, so really kept things in the zone in the spring. Same thing here in the summer, but he misses plenty high. Harmon, a good leap there, though it doesn't matter with no one on the base pads. Good to stay in that habit. Hurt now works to full count. Trying to be the first in orange on the base pads. Deep breath from Ross. The leg kick in, delivers the full count pitch. It's a dribbler over the slaughter at short. Picks it up across the body over the first, a stretch from Riggs. They'll call him out. A beautiful grab from Riggs at first and an even better throw from Slaughter at short for the 6-3 ground out. It was really close over there. Plenty of groans and moans from the home crowd here in Fulton. I don't blame them, but I do think we get the call right with that one. Beat him by about half a step for out number 2 of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Owen Phillips. The lefty set in the box to face the right-handed pitcher. As he swings through the first pitch, it's a fastball on the outside for strike 1. Owen Phillips reigns from Cleveland State. He transferred there after playing his first season with Southwest Tennessee Community College. The 0-1 pitch now on the inside half, just left for a ball. Another one of those guys returning to this Fulton roster from the 2025 year. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, no one on the bases here in the bottom of the second. Hoppers have a 1-0 lead. The 1-1 is fouled backwards and into the forest on the left side to make it a 1-2 count. And the entire side of the out of play on the left side, if you will, is all forest over here. So any ball over there is probably going to be lost. The 1-2 from Carter Ross fools him, gets him with a strikeout, his second of the day, and he's escaped the inning. 3 up, 3 down yet again. When we return in the top of the third, it'll be 9 and then the top of the order for the Hoppers as they look to extend their lead. Through 2 here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Colin Crothers joining you here from Fulton, Kentucky. Hoppers fans, you couldn't have asked for a better start from your team. Carter Ross on the mound has been fantastic, going 6 up, 6 down in the first 2 innings, and it was an RBI double an inning ago from Carson Knowles to bring in Reed Hayes for the 1-0 lead. We now go to Cade Wall in the 9 spot before flipping it back to the top of the order. Troy Johnson still out there as the pitcher for the Railroaders. Set for the windup. And his first pitch to Wall misses for a ball. Wall, the second baseman today, did appear in yesterday's game, though he did not get the start. He pinch hit for Zach Hampton and went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Swings at the second pitch over the right field, and J.R. North has to take about 5 strides to his left before grabbing it for out number 1. Like the aggressive swing there from Cade Wall, put a good bat to the ball there. Just obviously did not work out on that one. So we're now back to the top of the order. It's Easton Beatty at the plate, who grounded out to the third baseman last time. First pitch he sees at the second at bat, thought about going around. They'll say he did for a called strike. Pitch would have missed outside. They did not check down with the first base umpire, with Easton Beatty was hoping they would. Either way, it's a called strike. The 0-1 goes around again. That one he definitely swung on. That curveball is dicey for Beatty right now. Easton Sullivan, the catcher, takes a few strides out before giving it back to Jocelyn, as Beatty's got to reset and recalibrate right now because that curveball is making him see double. On deck is Ryan McCartan with Dom Hartman in the hole. The 0-2 pitch now delivered from Jocelyn. Beatty thought about it, held up, and it'll be called a ball. That one didn't have as much movement on it from Jocelyn, not as much horizontal run whatsoever, so did not fool Beatty. Now the 1-2 as Jocelyn's working quickly. Beatty awaits, and it's outside for ball 2. See, none of the pitches that Jocelyn's thrown this at-bat have been in the strike zone. It's just been Beatty's gone around on him. Now he's even the count at 2 apiece. Jocelyn's pitch is way upstairs. So Beatty, after falling behind 0-2, works the full count. He's back in the box to finish this righty-righty matchup. The 3-2 from Jocelyn. Beatty thought about it, held up. They're checking down the first base umpire to see if he went. They say he didn't, and it's a full count walk. Sure, it was a full count, but still none of those pitches were in the zone. Beatty just finally found a way to hold up with the bat. Really good yes, yes, no mentality after a few of those curves he got to recognize. Now stepping up is Ryan McCartan from Saginaw Valley State. Throw over the first is not in time. 1 out so far in the top of the third. Still a 1-0 lead. Only 1 runner on, obviously, after the walk. The pitch is about 2 feet outside for ball 1 to Ryan McCartan. McCartan from Lake Orion, Michigan, has a brother, Connor McCartan, who also played baseball at Northwood, an impressive D2 team out of the Great Midwest Athletic Conference. 1-0 pitch and misses. 2-0, and Jocelyn's all over the zone. We mentioned in the first and second inning, when he was in the zone, sure, it was fine, but when he missed, he did not miss very good. They haven't been too close to the zone. And on deck, he's got the powerful Dom Hartman. 2-0 pitch, and he attacks and cannot connect. 2 balls and 1 strike for Ryan McCartan. I was about to say, if he missed that one, I would be surprised if McCartan didn't have the red light. Beatty still leads off first, about a normal lead. Now the 2-1 is found backwards. And from being behind in the first at-bat with Beatty to now way ahead against McCartan, and then finding himself back at 2-2. The even count pitch. McCartan thought about it, leaves it low. The curveball misses. It'll be another full count. Back-to-back at-bats with full counts now. There was a fly out to right field, shallow right field that is. It's only about 200 feet out there to start the inning, and then that walk, and now the third batter with a 3-2 count. McCartan awaits and leaves it outside for another full count walk. Jocelyn's going to take a moment to reset on the back half of the mound, and he's got a lot to think about. The first inning, he went 3 up, 3 down, and he has struggled a little bit with the zone since then. He has 2 strikeouts on the day. One of them looking against McCartan on that dirty curveball. It is very good when he gets it in the zone. He's just been missing low with it. And he also got Caden Slaughter swinging at one about 3 feet above his head. As that one misses also above the head of now Dom Hartman at the plate. Grounded out to the second baseman, Owen Phillips, his last time up. Long pause from the stretch as now Hartman takes time. Hartman also plays at the U.S. Sports University, where he batted with a 403 batting average this past season. Now waits the 1-0 pitch with runners on first and second, and 1 out here in the top of the third. Swings and fouls it off to the right side. Long chase from the first baseman, but that one was clearly way out of play. Now, Sports University doesn't play NCAA. They don't play NAI. They actually play USCAA, United States Collegiate Athletic Association. And the USCAA Small College World Series, Dom Hartman was on their all-tournament team where he went 5 for 12. That one misses low. It keeps up to Sullivan. He will block it to keep it in front of him to hold the runners at bay. 2 balls and 1 strike. But yeah, in that Small College World Series, Hartman went 5 for 12 with 5 runs, 4 RBIs, 2 homers, one of them that we saw last night with the power that he has, and he also had 3 walks. Beatty on second, McCartan on first. The 2-1 pitch coming from Jocelyn. As now he kicks and delivers. Hartman. This one popped up on the right side of the field. Xander Smith, the first baseman, camped underneath it. They'll call the infield fly rule for out number 2. Pair of flyouts or pop-outs, whatever you want to call them, for Jocelyn on the mound. Now brings him up the 2-on, 2-out situation for the cleanup batter, Declan Riggs. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. Grounded out to the second baseman last time, just like Hartman as well. Long pause from Jocelyn, takes 2 looks over the second, now delivers, and it's low in the dirt for ball 1. Declan Riggs is another one of those guys who's transferring this year over to Mission University from Highland, Illinois. Recorded a 240 batting average, a 363 on base percentage, a chance here with runner in scoring position. Recorded 26 RBIs this past spring. Misses inside for ball 2, excuse me. He spent the year at University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy, where that's in St. Louis playing NAIA. That team went 21 and 22 on the season. The 2-0 pitch outside for ball 3. So just a tick below 500. The Utectics, I hope I'm saying that right, the Utectics went, and the American Midwest Conference. They lost both their AMC tournament games to Williams Baptist and Mission, where obviously he's now transferring. The 3-0. Called strike in the bottom corner. On deck from Riggs is Reed Hayes, who reached via the error from the shortstop last time, and was the only run to score so far in this game. The 3-1, Riggs ground over the Owen Phillips at second, got on him quickly, but makes for an easy out at first base. He does the same thing he did last time with the ground out. Decent inning from the Hoppers. A pair of walks get them on, but nothing to move them over and in. They still lead 1-0 as we go to close out the first third when we return. Bottom of the third here in Fulton, Kentucky, where the Hoppers lead the Railroaders 1-0 for their first road game of the 2026 summer season. They're taking on a team that is actually one of the first established teams in the Ohio Valley League. This is a league that formed back in 2010, and the Fulton Railroaders were one of the 4 first establishing teams. The program, or organization, if you will, actually established back in 2004, and one of the first members of this league. Carter Ross's first pitch of the third, called strike on the inside half. That's how he begins the bottom of the third inning, as he's still out there. He had a pair of strikeouts in the second inning, and now faces the 7th batter, J.R. North. Second pitch goes to that changeup that misses low and in. Evens the count 1-1. J.R. North at the plate, the right fielder today. Just finished up his freshman year at Holmes Community College. Now waits the 1-1 as Ross delivers. This one popped on the left side of the field. Good chase from Dom Hartman right outside the dugout for Fulton, and it hits on top of the dugout for a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes for J.R. North, who, again, at Holmes Community College, recorded a .303 batting average the .387 on base percentage. So OPS would have been right above 700, near 800 if you will. Now the 1-2. Dribbler, Ross will chase after it from the mound and flip it over the Riggs at first in time for out number 1. Good PFP right there. I love to see that. As someone who used to actually somewhat enjoy practicing those, PFPs are beautiful to see. But now we see the 8th batter in the Railroaders order. It's the first baseman, Xander Smith. Xander Smith just played at Georgetown College. Also one of the 9 with this roster calendar year ago. Ross with a deep breath as he delivers. It's that curveball, call it a strike on the bottom half of the zone. Talked to him before the game, felt pretty composed, and he looked pretty calm. Said, yeah, I just got my 3-pitch mix. As he blows one past him, a beautiful fastball, excuse me. Whoa, I'm mixing up my words now. With an 0-2 count. Doesn't try to overthrow, just knows that he can trust his 3 pitches, and it's been working so far. The 0-2, the Xander Smith tries the curve and rings him up on 3 strikes. Xander Smith strikes down, and that's the second backwards K for Carter Ross. I mean, he's on fire so far. 3 strikeouts now in just 2 innings. Now he sees the 9th batter in the order. It's Jeremiah Bowen. He's the DH tonight for the Railroaders. Long pause, he awaits his first pitch, and it's right down Broadway for strike 1. Fastball freezes him. Bowen spent the past year at Rhodes College, trying to be the first in orange to get on the bases. The 0-1 misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter Ross has been also, like Chance Todd was last night, extremely efficient. Smaller breath that time, the 1-1. Misses outside. He's been taking a few deep breaths on the mound. That's why I mentioned not as much of a deep breath that time. Changing it up a little bit. And also one of those guys at Midway that has a solid year. That school went 28-21 as that one misses above the helmet for a 3-1 count. This is the first time Ross has been in a hole like this all evening. Yeah, Midway went 28-21, though they lost both their River States Conference tournament games to Shawnee State and Indiana Southeast, which Indiana Southeast went on to the NAIA World Series. That one called strike. In the bottom half of the zone, you saw the umpire there ring him up for strike 3. He's used to it for Carter Ross. We'll see if he's predicting the future, as now it's a full count. Long pause to see if the umpire is the fortune teller, and he is. Strike 3 right there. The umpire knew it. We all knew it was coming. Carter Ross does it yet again with his 4th strikeout of the day. We're through the first third. The Hoppers lead 1-0. As we head to the 4th, you're watching Hoptown Hoppers baseball here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. 3 down, the Hoppers have a solid lead, 1-0 over the Railroaders for their first road game of the 2026 season. Hello everyone, I'm Colin Carruthers bringing you today's action live again. Fulton Railroaders 0-1 on the year as they lost 10-0 last night to the Henderson Flash. It was a 6-0 victory for the Hoppers last night at home, taking on the Miners. But 3 innings was all the Railroaders wanted to see from Jocelyn. They'll bring in a new pitcher. It's Dane Lynn on the bump right now. He reigns from Paducah, Kentucky, where he was playing at Jackson State Community College in 13 appearances and 12.2 innings of work, record a 13.50 ERA, 16 strikeouts and 19 walks, not the number you want to see there. 29 runs, only 19 of them were earned though. Squaring around, and it's a called strike for the first pitch he throws at the plate right now is Reed Hayes. Hayes reached via the error from the shortstop last time. Again, was the only run to score so far in this game. That one's outside. They even the count 1-1. Reed Hayes is similar to me a bit. We brought up a little bit of yesterday, but he is majoring in corporate sports management. The 1-1 pitch outside 2-1. I also major in sport and rec management. It's what it's called at the University of Iowa. It's pretty much the same thing. There's a lot of similar stuff though. Reed Hayes, he also volunteered with the UIndy operations team with men's basketball games. 2-1 comes in. It's weighed by him for 2-2. He's also had an internship in the past. He actually interned for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, and if you're unfamiliar with them, they're a high A affiliate of the San Diego Padres in the Midwest League. Now the even 2-2 count. It's an excuse me swing from Hayes. It's fouled off to keep him alive. I'm sure he's just fine with that one. Takes a long pause on the backside. Dane Lynn is working from the windup. Shakes off 2 pitches. Now set, delivers to Hayes. The 2-2, he thought about it and skips it about 3 feet in front of the plate for ball 3. It's another full count. We've seen a few of them already, but obviously that was from Jocelyn, who was in before. Reed Hayes looking to get on yet again. Now the full count pitch. Lynn delivers. Reed can't get it. It's a drop third, and it will just be tagged out at the plate for out number 1. Really beautiful slider there from Lynn for his first strikeout. That'll bring up the catcher, Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon this season we brought up only had 11 at-bats. So that one misses outside for ball 1. Again, only 11 at-bats in a full college season. It's really hard to get any consistency at the plate. Definitely will probably get a lot more here as he swings through that one and pulls his head big time. He evens the count 1-1 for Dane Lynn. He might as well try to poke one over the fence when you've got no strikes. Just completely pulled his head around him on that. And that one skips before it even hits the dirt. That one hit the grass on its way in. So Dane Lynn tried throwing that one about 1,001 miles per hour to make it a 2-1 count. Everyone's going to reset. Because how could you not after those past 2 pitches? The 2-1 from Lynn. Misses outside and a tad bit low. Harmon's ahead 3-1. He's got the green light. A beautiful hitter's count. The Fisherville, Kentucky native awaits the pitch. Here's Lynn with the delivery and misses low for a walk. There's a first runner on the base paths for this inning. That'll bring up Carson Knowles in the 7th spot. Again on deck would be Caden Slaughter, and Cade Wall will be in the hole. The DH had the RBI double last time that brought in Reed Hayes. A similar situation here with a runner on first. Will throw over and he'll get back safely. Similar situation the last time for Carson Knowles when he brought in a run. Except last time was with 2 outs. This time there's only 1 against him. Infield playing normal, outfield about position where do you expect them. Nothing unfamiliar there. That one About belt high on the outside for strike one against Knowles. Long pause. Lynn checks over at first a few times before delivering and missing way outside. They even the count at one apiece. Knowles majoring in general studies, didn't record any stats like we brought up earlier. And he's from an athletic family. He's got a younger sister, Presley Knowles, who actually won the state championship in both softball and volleyball this past year. As that one is a called strike on the outside half to make it 1-2. But how about that, winning the state championship for your school in 2 varsity sports. She's also ranked number 3 in the entire state of Tennessee for digs, which is a stat in volleyball if you're unfamiliar with it. If you're very unfamiliar, it's kind of when they make a dive and save it from the ground. As he waves by the curveball outside for out number 2. Second strikeout of the inning for Dane Lynn, both of them swinging. Still has that runner on first via the walk, as that'll bring up the shortstop, Caden Slaughter. Slaughter struck out last time. He was the second K of the day, first one looking. As they'll look over at first, Mark Harmon, who gets back safely. And Lynn setting out from the stretch. From the rubber. Misses outside. A little bit of a pause there from the home plate umpire. Was wondering if he was going to call it. It was outside, but hey, you never know. The 1-0 pitch. Even farther outside, and that's the one that Slaughter decides to go for. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Slaughter's set to join the man in front of him in the lineup, Carson Knowles, over at Vol State Community College. That's where he's transferring to. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low. It's nice now from a summer baseball perspective that, Slaughter gets some innings under him. He gets some reps. He gets to see some live college pitching, as he didn't get to see that at UW Whitewater this past year. But he also gets to meet quite a few of his future teammates in the dugout with him. The 2-1 pitch. Slaughter is fooled on a slider outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. That's deuces wild here in the top of the 4th with a runner still on first base. 1-0 lead for the Hoppers. Dane Lynn shakes off a few pitches before getting set. The 2-2, the leg kick to the plate outside. Slaughter now has a full count. Slaughter playing shortstop tonight, where he was ranked the 44th shortstop in Tennessee coming out of high school, according to Perfect Game. Bat's got to be a big influence. We're going to see it right here. The 3-2, he attacks, and it's out of play. Everyone's going to have to reset as some kids start taking off for it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Expect Mark Harmon to be taking off here with 2 outs. The pitch, Lynn delivers way outside. It's a full count walk to put runners on first and second. So this inning so far for Dane Lynn, it's been a strikeout against Reed Hayes, a walk to Mark Harmon, a strikeout again to Carson Knowles, and then a walk yet again. The Caden Slaughter, if the pattern is proving to be true, Cade Wall could be looking at a K right here. Looking to break up that streak, obviously. Even though he is 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch with runners on first and second, goes after it and fouls it backwards. And that one hits a car. Just watch that one hit a truck, though it didn't look like it dented it, which is very nice. Lucky for that person. No balls and 1 strike. Wall last time flew out to shallow right field, though everything in right field, if it's a fly out, is shallow. On the outside half, a called strike against Wall. It'll be an 0-2 count. He's got Harmon on second base and Slaughter on first. Dane Lynn's been decent so far. Even those walks, he wasn't horribly missing. Just couldn't get the off-speed in there. Now the 0-2 pitch. Wall leaves it low for ball one. Good eye at the plate. The hold up, because you've got to really expand and protect with 2 strikes, obviously. But Wall stays composed. Long little motion to get set. And now delivers the pitch from Lynn. Grounder to the left side. And the shortstop dives, can't get it. They'll hold Harmon up at third. As he gets through the 5-6 gap, but the left fielder, Alice Hurt, is there quickly. They get it back in the infield, and the bases are loaded off the infield single. Great job from Cade Wall there to get it to the left side, as Thomas Kuhn, the shortstop, was actually pinched in with second, holding on Mark Harmon, the runner on second. That's how it got through on the left side. Called strike in the bottom right corner as we hit the top of the lineup yet again with Easton Beatty, who's 0 for 1 on the day. He was walked his last time up. So that one misses for ball one. To start off the game, it was a ground out to the third baseman, Nick Kazi. Got bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth and a 1-0 lead. Beatty attacks and waves by the 1-1 to make it 1-2. On deck is Ryan McCartan. Beatty still looking for his first hit in Hopper's uniform. Long pause as Lynn goes from the windup. Left low, gets around Sullivan, but not far enough for any of the runners to take off. 2-2 count, and everyone stays at bay. We're back in the second inning. It was an RBI double from Carson Knowles to bring in Reed Hayes for the only run. And now a chance to expand that lead with bases loaded. The 2-2 now from Lynn is left upstairs for ball three. Another full count. The Hoppers have been working counts very, very well. It's very opposite from the Railroaders that Carter Ross, starting pitcher for the Hoppers, has been very efficient, where it hasn't been the case for Fulton. Runners take off. It's outside, and they're going to walk in a run. 2-0 lead for the Hoppers, as it's a good eye from Beatty to bring in the run. Mark Harmon comes in to score. Cade Wall moves up to second, and Caden Slaughter over the third, as Beatty now stands on first. Sullivan will take a moment to meet with his pitcher. Now stepping up to the plate from Saginaw Valley State up in Michigan. It's Ryan McCartan. His first pitch of the at-bat misses inside on a fastball. It looked like a little bit of a two-seam because it did have a slight run on it. McCartan batted .267 on the year. Now the 1-0 pitch. A curveball that dived way out of the strike zone, but fooled McCartan for strike one. Still bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Of course, a 2-0 lead after walking in a run. Dayton Lynn delivers, and that one way outside. Good block, though, from Sullivan behind the dish to keep everyone where they're at. McCartan finished up his sophomore year at Saginaw Valley State, but he attended Lake Orion High School, where he actually lettered in all 4 years in baseball and football. Now the 2-1 pitch is too far outside to be called a strike, but it was pretty close. 3 balls and 1 strike, and Dane Lynn in danger again of walking his fourth batter of the inning. Excuse me, his third batter. No, it'll be his fourth, as that one's called a strike. Excuse me for messing that up. I apologize. In danger of walking his fourth of the inning, though, and walking in, of course, a second run of the inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, runners take off as Lynn delivers. McCartan fouls it backwards and will stay alive. We'll do it all over again. And McCartan was good in baseball and football, though, as he was all-district in baseball and all-league in football. The 3-2 runners take off again. Lynn delivers. McCartan out towards center field. Lott takes off for it, but the right fielder will grab it as that one tailed a dramatic way. J.R. North comes forward. The wind must have pushed it, as that'll do it for the top of the fourth, but not before the Hoppers scratch across one. It was a walk that brought in the only run of the inning. The Hoppers had some insurance and lead 2-0. It was a lengthy top of the fourth inning. Took quite a while. It was probably our longest half inning of the entire game, though Hoppers only scored one run. They stranded, the bases loaded. Now back out in the field facing 1, 2, and 3 in the order for the Railroaders. Thomas Kuhn, the shortstop, first up. Carter Ross delivers. He's still out there on the mound and delivers a first pitch strike. After waiting the dugout, I'm very curious to see how Ross responds. Sometimes hard to be in the dugout for so long and then come out and fire away immediately, but he's got 2 strikes off the bat and it's not phased him yet a bit. Couldn't watch his 2 by him. He lined out over the Keaton Slaughter at short his last time up. The 0-2 delivery and gets him on 3 pitches for another strikeout. Carter Ross delivers a K to start the top of the order. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Carter Ross. We're just in the 4th inning. Brings up Nick Cossey, the third baseman, who popped out to Cade Wall at second base his last time up. Ross from the stretch delivers first pitch ball. Remember, we said it earlier, but Ross went a whole month in the spring without pitching. He pitched in February, pitched in April, but the entire month of March, he saw no action. And from watching his performance so far today, I'm shocked to learn that. Here's the 1-0 from Ross. As that one's popped up, Mark Harmon takes a few steps back before realizing that's going to be out of play. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. And Ross doesn't look like he's been a guy who wasn't too consistent in the spring, who didn't have as many innings. He looks rock solid and on fire so far. The 1-1 is right down the middle for strike 2. We thought Chance Todd was impressive yesterday. Carter Ross is starting to give him a run for his money early still in this ball game. The 1-2 pitch from Ross. This one popped to the right side. Declan Riggs chases slightly as it's out of play. Well, still a 1-2 count. Ross now set from the stretch. Delivers Akasi. Gets him swinging on the outside half. Back-to-back Ks for Ross. His 6th of the day. Come on. Carter Ross has been nothing but fire today for the Hoppers. 6 strikeouts and only 3.2 innings of work so far. Let's do the math for you. That's 11 outs. 6 of them have been Ks. Stepping up now is Jacob Lott, who flew out to center fielder Easton Beatty last time. His first pitch of the second at-bat. Misses, low and in. Ross has been good with the first pitch strikes for the most part today, but when he has not gotten the first pitch strike, he has done fantastic at responding, even in counts, and getting ahead. He has not fallen behind much. The 1-0. The 2-0, I may have jinxed him, I apologize. As I was also just about to say, the one time I remember seeing it, he fell behind 3-1 in a count. Ended up coming back and striking out that batter. The 2-0 pitch from Ross. Goes with the off speed and misses 3-0. Jacob Lott at the plate. On deck is the catcher, Easton Sullivan, in the 4 spot. The 3-0 from Carter Ross. Is right down Broadway for strike 1. Good idea. It's pretty obvious Lott had the red light. They're trying to get anyone on the bases right now. Ross looking to load up the count, misses, and it's a walk. The first runner of the day is aboard for the Railroaders, and even though it's early, I'd like to say it, Ross's perfect game bid is over. Though you're not really counting yet, obviously. It's only not even done with the 4th inning. But he's been perfect up to this point. So now stepping up is Easton Sullivan, the catcher, who struck out looking. Was actually the first K for Carter Ross in this ballgame. Ross looks over at first, now delivers towards the plate, and blows one past Sullivan for strike 1. Sullivan's just a high school graduate, though he's committed to Delta State, so seeing his first bit of college action here in the Ohio Valley League. Harmon throws down the first as after that pitch missed for a ball to even the count 1-1. Lott gets back quickly and is safe at first. One ball, one strike. Ross delivers to the plate and scorches one past Sullivan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You might as well stick with the fastball at this point. The 1-2 from Carter Ross goes with the curve and fouls it into the fence on the right side. Sullivan stays alive. Looking for strikeout number 7. That one to the right side out of play, and Sullivan's going to give him a really good fight. Remember, he had a really good at-bat last time as well. Fouling off who knows how many pitches. Trying to do it again right here. It's a sign of a good bat at the plate. The 1-2, the curve, misses, high. Harmon thought about going down the first, but instead does not. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carter Ross delivers. It's low to Harmon. He blocks it and holds the runner still at first, but it's a full count. Is Ross in danger of walking back-to-back batters? It was back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Now 1 aboard with a walk and could be looking at another. Ross the 3-2. This one popped up on the right side. Declan Riggs chases, so does Mark Harmon. And it floats too far for them to make a play. Look at the numbers for Carter Ross. Had only 6 strikeouts in his 5 appearances this past spring. He gets 1 more here, and he's already beat that in his summer season in just 1 start. The load from Ross delivers the 3-2. That one over to left field. Reed Hayes lets it drop in front of him as there was no way he was catching up to that one. It's the first single of the day for the Railroaders to put runners on first and second. So from back-to-back strikeouts to a walk, and now a single for the cleanup batter in the order. That brings up the left fielder in the 5 spot, Ellis Hurt, who grounded out to the shortstop, Caden Slaughter, his last time up. And he made a good play earlier after Cade Wall's base hit to keep everyone with just advancing one base, and that probably saved a run. Though it eventually came across with a walk a batter later. He fouls off his first pitch for strike one. We brought it up earlier, but again, Ellis Hurt started his career at Trevecca Nazarene, his first year of college ball, then transferred to spend his second year this past season over at Kentucky Westland. That one, a wild pitch past Mark Harmon. Both batters will advance, and the Railroaders have two in scoring position. This one just went from a Carter Ross dominance of a start to the Railroaders right there in danger of tying this ball game up. A base hit is all they need to even this at 2 runs apiece. It's Hurt at the plate, awaiting the 1-1. Just too low for the home plate umpire to call it. Mark Harmon can't bring it up enough. And it's a 2-1 count. Harmon's done very well behind the plate today. Looking very, very good. 2-1 pitch from Ross, misses just above the neck for a 3-1 count. Thinking about the situation, technically you've got first base open right now. That'd bring up the 6th batter in the order, Owen Phillips. But after that, you've got no room to spare. 3-1 from Carter Ross. And he tried putting that over on the pavilion in left field. A monster swing, and he misses for strike 2, and the count runs full. Sign says about 350 to left field. That one would have been about 370 if he connected. Carter Ross trying to work out of the situation. The 3-2. This one popped up backwards and out of play. He'll stay alive. They are giving Ross a lot of trouble right now. And this is the first bit of adversity he's faced in this game. Hopper fans waiting to see how he responds to it. This pitch could determine it. The 3-2 from Ross yet again goes with a curve and misses upstairs. A full count walk loads the bases for Fulton. Remember, Fulton is also looking for their first runs of the season after they were shut out in a 10-0 loss in 7 innings in last night's ball game. And that was on the road for them against the Henderson Flashes. We'll see a mound meeting as assistant coach Max Kirby comes out to pay a visit to Carter Ross. Max Kirby, you want to learn about him, spent the year as a grad assistant for Frida Hardman, where he also played as a right-handed pitcher and infielder. He spent last summer season, so the 2025 summer season, with the Briarcliff Seagulls. They're part of the BCBL, a.k.a. the Beach Collegiate Baseball League, and they actually had a very impressive season. That's a league that only goes a month long down in Florida, and you can't get too much better than Florida, can you? Being down in the beautiful weather they've got, though it's a little too hot for some people, I've been told. Either way, the Briarcliff Seagulls pulled off an upset win, 8-1 over the Rays from his leadership in the opening round of the playoffs. They would lose a round later, but he was a very influential coach down there that led to some very great things. First pitch misses for a ball. Carter Ross now delivering to the left-handed batter, Owen Phillips. He's got bases loaded and a chance for Fulton's first runs of the year. That one runs inside. 2-0 count. Carter Ross is behind quickly. Ross takes a moment to reset on the side of the mound, and he's got a lot against him. Behind 2-0, bases loaded, a 2-0 lead that he's trying to save. Phillips awaits the pitch and lets one right down Broadway past him for strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 lead for the Hoppers. They've got bases loaded against them. Carter Ross set from the rubber. The leg kick. And just outside and a little too much. 3-1. Ross in danger of doing the same thing Dane Lynn did a half inning ago for the Railroaders, and that is walking in a run. Ross now set from the stretch. The 3-1 just misses. Carter Ross walks in a run, and the Fulton Railroaders have scored their first run of the 2026 season. So first one comes across. That is 3 of the last 4 batters that have now been walked. There was a base hit from Easton Sullivan mixed in there as well. Still 2 outs in the inning, but only a 1-run lead. The tying run stands on third. That one is fouled backwards for strike one at the plate right now. In the 7th spot is J.R. North. Carter Ross, after that pitch, walked about halfway out towards second base, took a moment and a deep breath, turned around, 2 hits to the chest towards Mark Harmon saying, hey, that's on me. I got the next one, though. He responds with back-to-back strikes, and you bet that worked out very well, recognizing, hey, that's me. I've got the next one, though. That's so important after walking a guy in general, walking in a run, whatever the situation may be, saying, hey, I've got the next guy. And he's shown that a few times tonight, but in particular right here, the 0-2 count. This one fouled to the right side, out of play. There's very shallow foul territory here. If you're familiar with the field back home, again, that's Tiger Field, home of what was Hopkinsville High School. No longer, obviously. They've got a lot more foul territory than is here in Fulton. So there's not much room to spare over there. Still an 0-2 count for Carter Ross as he delivers. That one high and inside as North dips out of the way for ball one. No one working in the bullpen for Hoptown. Same for the Railroaders. Defense aligned normally right now as the 1-2 pitch comes in and is fouled backwards. Though Fulton has struggled before this inning at the plate, again, before the first 2 outs of this inning, Carter Ross was perfect against them. They have done well with quite a few of their at-bats, straining them out. Carter Ross was very efficient off the bat, and immediately then there was a few batters that strung it out. Here, the second time through the order, they have done a great job at stringing out these at-bats and working his pinch count. That one's fouled above Caden Slaughter, the shortstop, the captain on the infield. Underneath it for out number 3. The Fulton Railroaders score 1 but can't get another. The Hoppers hold on to a 1-run lead as Carter Ross gets out of the situation. They'll see if they can tack on a few more when we begin the 5th inning. You're watching Hoppers baseball here on the Hoptown Hoppers Radio Network. We've played 4 here in Fulton, Kentucky. It's a 2-1 lead for the Hoppers over the Railroaders. Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Grithers bringing you today's action here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. After only 1 inning of work for Devin Lynn, where he saw 7 of the 9 batters in Hoptown's lineup, they elect to go to yet another new pitcher. This time, it'll be Freddie Londo, who just finished up his freshman year from Schoolcraft Community College. Recorded no stats, so this will be his first look at collegiate action right here. First batter in the order will be Dom Hartman in the 3 spot as he works from the windup. His first pitch on the outside, called a strike. Londo comes from Brighton, Michigan. One of a few players on the field right now for Michigan. Obviously, the Hoppers have a few of their own. As that one skips in the dirt for ball 1. Obviously, you got the players from Saginaw Valley State, which is up in Michigan. You also have another guy who plays at the United States Sports University. They came down from Michigan. That's Alex McGuire, as that one misses outside. So Hartman's ahead of the count, 2-1. So far on the day, Hartman's 0 for 2 with a ground out to the second baseman and a pop out to the first baseman. Hacks at that one and fouls it over on the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes quickly as he battles Londo. Long pause. Now delivers. That one, Chopper stays fair, gloved by Costi across the diamond and beats him by a step. What an impressive play from Costi to grab Hartman, who gave a good chase over the first, just wasn't able to get there in time. So there's 1 out to start the 5th inning. Coming up now is Declan Riggs. Also 0 for 2 on the day with back-to-back ground outs to the second baseman, Owen Phillips. First pitch he sees of the third at bat. Swings through for strike 1. They just announced the attendance here in Fulton. About 310 people in attendance taking in this ball game as Riggs fouls off the second pitch and is behind to the count 0-2. And taking in Game 2 of the Ohio Valley League season. Pretty good setup here at Fulton. About a wooden stand structure with some benches. Not a bad spot to catch a ball game. Beautiful night here as well. The 0-2, Riggs fouls off. A little humid, but nothing too crazy. The sun's been out shining. It's been about what you could absolutely ask for in a ball game. 0-2 with 1 out, no one on the base pads. The 2-1 lead still for the Hoppers here in the top of the 5th. The pitch from Londo right back up the middle, and Owen Phillips is there. The grab is going to have to make a good throw to first, and is accurate with it for out number 2. That's 3 ground outs to Phillips now. For Declan Riggs, it's been a magnet for him over there. At this point, if he finds any other part of the field, he might as well be on at this point, you know? But not the way it works out on that one. So now we'll go to the 5 spot of the order. It's Reed Hayes coming up to the plate. His first pitch of the at-bat. Misses low for a ball. Hayes was the first run to score in this ball game after being brought in from an RBI double from Carson Knowles, who stands in the hole at this moment. Now the 1-0. Misses low for ball 2. Hayes also had a strikeout an inning ago in the 4th. Ahead 2-0 in the count. As that one's a called strike in the bottom right corner. Brought up some cool stuff about Hayes earlier. The other thing that's pretty fun, his younger brother, Noah Hayes, also a pretty good ball player, as that one fouled off to the right side for strike 2. Noah Hayes is a catcher at Reed's former high school, Canterbury High School up in Fort Wayne. Noah's the class of 2027, so will be a senior this upcoming year. And in the sophomore year, they were coming off a 1A state semi run And now that one over to Owen Phillips at second. Takes a quick moment to collect himself, throws to the first. And it's 3 up, 3 down for the new pitcher, Freddie Londo. To get the Hoppers out of that one, they'll have to defend their 1-run lead. We'll be right back here with more Hoppers baseball. You're listening to it here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Carter Ross is back to towing the rubber for the Hoptown Hoppers after his most adverse inning ago. Back in the fourth, it was back-to-back strikeouts and then 3 walks that ended up leading to walking in a run, and the only run for Fulton, not only this game but this season. As he starts off the 5th inning with a strike, he's looking to get back to where he was the 3 innings before, where he was perfect in all of them. As he goes 8-9 and then top of the order against the Railroaders. The 1 pitch from Ross is waved by on a curve. No balls and 2 strikes. As the first baseman, Xander Smith, only his second at-bat of the game. He struck out looking in the 3rd inning, his last time up. The 0-2 from Carter Ross. Continues to light him up with his 7th strikeout of the day. Carter Ross gets him swinging. Carter Ross with 7 strikeouts now beats the total that he had in 9 innings the entire spring season at Midway. He's looked like, pardon me for maybe getting ahead of myself, but a bit of an ace out there. First pitch now in the 9th spot. That's another strike, that one swinging to Jeremiah Bowen. Bowen struck out swinging his last time up. Look at this, back-to-back pitchers that have been phenomenal for Chris Benny. He can't be loving anything more than what he's seen yesterday and today from his starting pitchers. That one misses inside. And we keep talking about Chance Todd's performance yesterday, where he went 7 innings with about 3 or 4 strikeouts, no runs against him. Had a phenomenal start. Carter Ross is doing the same as that one's popped behind him. First strike 2. But Ross has done it a lot more via the strikeout, where Chance Todd was doing it with a lot of the ground outs and blooper pop-outs in the infield or shallow outfield yesterday. Sure, he got a lot of help with some really good defense. Chance Todd pitched phenomenal, but Ross has been dominant in the zone today. That one misses about a level too much upstairs for ball 2. Again on deck is the top of the order with Thomas Kuhn. Deep breath as now we set for the 2-2. Ross delivers. That one blasted to left field. Reed Hayes takes a few steps in and is camped underneath it for out number 2 of the inning. 2 up, 2 down to begin the 5th, the same way they started every inning up to this point. And now seeing if Carter Ross doesn't replicate the inning before, where after that point it was a walk, a single, a walk, which was walking in the 1 run, and then finally a pop out to get out of the inning. He now faces Thomas Kuhn at the top of the order, who swings at the first pitch, and it's fouled out of play. This will be the third time Carter Ross is going through the Railroaders order. We'll see how long he goes. There hasn't been anyone warming up in Hoptown's bullpen. I'm presuming he's got quite a bit of room to work with right now because he has looked like he's been on fire and quite frankly deserves it. The curveball to right field. That one's over the head into the netting. They're going to play it as if it was live. That's Ryan McCartan in right field. So it'll just be a single. Wow, we finally have one out to right field to see how awkward it is to play out there, and that's atrocious, to be quite frank with you. So it hits off the netting about halfway up over there. I'm going to keep the angle like this for now. And in a normal situation, Ryan McCartan would have been playing late deeper, and he may have caught that. But in this situation, getting over his head as he takes off for a second, it's fouled off, so we have to return the first base. It gets over his head by quite a bit. You're thinking, oh, you're rounding for second. But you're not. It lands right in front of McCartan and holds him up for a single. You also think, playing off the net, I've never seen that in my life, personally. And if it gets over the fence and into a netting, it's usually just to save something. That should be a home run. So instead of a home run, it's a single. He throws over the first. He's back safely. Yeah, that was awkward. That makes for a really weird situation and kind of changes up the whole game if you hit a ball to right field. If you want a home run, you've got to put that thing about 25, 30 feet in the air. 0-1 high and in on Nick Cossey. Evens the count 1 apiece. That netting goes up quite a bit in right field, so you're better off looking for left field at this point. I figured it sounded like before the game they'd play stuff off the net. But now the 1-1 pitch is fouled out of play on the right side, and they make it 1-2. But I'm happy to finally see it for myself to confirm it, that it's played off the net. And that is awkward. It is so awkward. The netting does only stretch out to about right center field, quite a ways, though. Outside of that, there's nothing in center and nothing over in left field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The sun is setting quickly here, and the lights are keeping us very illuminated, working very well. Now the 1-2 pitch, runner takes off again. This one to left field, Reed Hayes takes about 4 steps in. It's right at him. He had to judge it and does make the right call for the final out. After a single off the netting in right field, Carter Ross gets out of the inning with yet another strikeout. Hoppers lead 5-1 as we head to the 6th here in Fulton, Kentucky. Six, seven, 8 due up for the Hoppers to begin the 6th inning of action here in Fulton, Kentucky. Freddie Londo still out on the bump for the Railroaders to face Mark Harmon at the plate. His first pitch misses high and in. Harmon on the day so far. 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. He did end up scoring after being walked in by Dane Lynn. The 1-0 pitch. Out towards left field, gets past the diving Thomas Kuhn at shortstop. He rounds first base decently before the ball gets back to the infield. A leadoff single for the catcher, Mark Harmon. Great piece of hitting for him right there. Attacking on first strike he sees of the at-bat. And that'll bring up Carson Knowles right behind him. Again, he had that RBI double back in the second inning for the first run of this ball game. After that, though, he did strike out in the fourth. That one way outside for ball one. And the Hoppers started 1-0 last night, looking to start 2-0. There's only 6 teams in the Ohio Valley League. Every game's going to matter that much. With only 6 teams in the league, your standings could move drastically based off one game and another. That one called a strike. Yeah, a win and a loss could mean about everything in the standings when postseason comes around near end of July. They'll check up on Harmon at first, and he's back safely. You look back a season ago with Hoptown, they finished 16-21. They won their wild card game as a 5 seed. That's where they finished up in the standings in the 6 teams. So that one a curveball outside for 2-1 count. They won their wild card game against the Henderson Flash, then lost 2 straight to Full Count Rhythm, who ended up going on and winning the Ohio Valley League title. Now 2-1 pitch. Fastball way outside, making it 3-1. And Carson Knowles, the DH, at the plate with Caden Slaughter on deck and Cade Wall in the hole. And then back to the top of the lineup for the Hoppers. Couple looks over the first now, delivers a 3-1, and he waves by the pitch. Count runs full, 3-2. Still got Harmon on first with 1 out. Excuse me, no outs. Looked at the wrong thing. A 2-1 lead for the Hoppers. 3-2. Skips up, and it's a full count walk for Carson Knowles. So first 2 runners of the inning are aboard. So still with no outs, Caden Slaughter now approaches the right-handed batter's box. Slaughter struck out in the second inning and walked back in the fourth, where he went all the way around to third base before the inning eventually ended with a flyout to right field. First pitch of this at-bat, way inside and way up there for ball 1. Couple looks back to second before delivering the 1-0. Slaughter's way behind that one. They even count at 1 apiece. And at this point of the game yesterday, head coach Chris Benny was making some substitutions, seeing some pinch hitters come in. But that was with a 6-0 lead. This is a 1-run ball game right now on the road. Can't afford it as much to see other guys get some action like you could yesterday. That one called strike on the outside half of the plate, makes it a 1-2 count. Freddie Londo went 3 up, 3 down last inning. First 2 were on him here. Trying to keep the deficit at 1. The 1-2 out towards right field and is caught by J.R. North. The runners will stay at bay as, again, there's not too much room back there in right field. It's still somewhat shallow. That's out number 1. J.R. North actually ran in on that ball first and then started tracking backwards, which is obviously a little backwards than what you're used to being taught in the outfield. But he just barely was able to get back there for the out. Now stepping up to the plate is Cade Wall. First pitch. Thought about going around, holds up for ball 1. Now Londo delivers. That one is right down Broadway. 1-1 count to Cadewall. Look at his line for the day. Flew out to right field in the third and the fourth inning. He got on with a single through the 5-6 gap, which ended up setting up for that run being walked in, and that's the only reason the Hoppers have a lead right now. Next pitch misses outside to make it 2-1. Freddie Londo now set from the stretch. A little bit of action by Harmon at second. That one's inside. To make it a 3-1 count. That's Harmon on second base after he got on with a single. Carson Knowles on first after a walk. Slaughter flew out. And now we're here. The 3-1. Here's the pitch from Londo. Out to the right center gap. Good chase. It's going to get down off the wall. They're going to hold up Harmon at third. And Wall went all the way to second. He's safe there. Here comes Harmon towards the plate. Here's a throw. They're not set up for it. Harmon scores. Knowles comes over the third. Two are in scoring position. It's an RBI. 3-1 lead. Cade Wall wasn't holding up for anything to bring in that run. Harmon was held up kind of late there. Carson Knowles was about halfway over the third base and then saw that Mark Harmon was being held up, started the return back to second, saw Cade Wall slide in, and went, oh, I'm in a pickle. I got to go back. Harmon saw this, took off for home. The catcher was about 3 feet, or 3 steps rather, in front of the home plate and wasn't able to get behind it in time to apply a tag. And there you have a little bit of insurance. 2 still in scoring position, only 1 out in the inning. Now you've got Easton Beatty at the top of the lineup at the plate. It's a strike on the first pitch. The next one misses for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. It's a 3-1 lead for the Hoppers with 2 in scoring position. Londo delivers. Infield is in. This one towards right field is foul. Hoppers do have someone in the bullpen. Can't see who it is because I can see the catcher, but the pitcher, from my vantage point, is completely blocked. So I don't have a number or anything, but I know someone's working in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Beatty. Londo delivers. That one's too far outside on the slider. And as you can tell right now, infield is in. Playing on the edge of the infield grass. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Londo leg kick in, delivers to the plate. It's outside. Count runs full. Beatty at the plate for his 4th time today. Grounded out to begin this ball game. Then it's been walks the last 2 times he's gone up to the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Gets away, gets behind Sullivan, and Carson Knowles will hold at third. Bases will be loaded after the walk. You don't mind that because this is a shallow backstop. So he's got to be real careful back there. And over at third, if you want to end up taking off, you hesitate a little bit. There's no chance you're getting there safely. Sullivan now takes time to meet up with Freddie Londo on the mound. It'll be bases loaded with only 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning and a 3-1 lead for the Hoppers. As now stepping up to the plate is Ryan McCartan for his 4th at-bat. He struck out, looking, walked, and flew out to right field on his day so far. Already gave a shout out to some of his family, again, his brother that played at Northwood, but you look at the stats for the past 2 years from McCartan. He improved from his freshman year to his sophomore year, where his batting average jumped up about 61 points. His first pitch of the at-bat, a called strike on the outside half. And I went from a 216 average to a 267. Now the 0-1 pitch to McCartan, swings at it to right field. This one getting back is going to have to be played off the netting. Gets off the top half of the netting, goes over the fence, and it'll be ruled a ground rule double. So 2 runs come in. Ryan McCartan extends the lead to 5-1 on the most awkward hit in probably the entire Ohio Valley League. What are we doing? I mean, it's so awkward to talk about. I mean, that ball went about halfway, 3/4 of the way up that net. And when it came down, the netting's not actually attached to the wall. And so it went behind the wall. So that results in a ground rule double. Because why doesn't it? Sure. Now coming up to the plate will be Dom Hartman. Curveball skips in the dirt for ball 1. Be a 1-0 count. But yeah, it's a 2 RBI double for Ryan McCartan to extend this lead. The 1-0 pitch to Hartman. Fouled out of play. And on top of the roof here to make it a 1-1 count. On the base paths right now, you've got Easton Beatty on third and Ryan McCartan on second. The 1-1 pitch, Hartman fouls it off. Near the Fulton dugout, which has no covering in front of it. There's no fence. It is an open dugout over there, which is the same for the Hoppers on the right side. So everyone's got to be more than aware and ready. I still don't get why we have open dugouts to this day. Might as well just put at least a little fence in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hartman ways past it. It's a drop third. First base is open. They'll throw down. Hartman is out, and the base runners on second and third stay put. There's a strikeout, the first for Freddie Londo on the day. As now Declan Riggs comes up. Reed Hayes is on deck, and if they get to that point, they'll have batted around in the order. Now we'll see Fulton take him out and visit the slow walk out there. And they'll elect to go to a new pitcher, J.D. Willis. I've seen enough from Freddie Londo. They'll take a call to the bullpen. We'll see a new pitcher, and we'll have all the info on him when we return on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Your Hoppers lead 5-1, 1 run away from tying their same number as yesterday. Well, as just mentioned, there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Railroaders. They elect to go to Brady Davis, and by the looks of it, he's a fan favorite. He was with the team last year and returns for the 2026 season. Spent the spring with Fall State Community College. First pitch as he faces the lefty Declan Riggs is a called strike on the outside half. He inherits 2 runners on second and third and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. His team trails 5-1. Brady Davis works from the stretch. Second pitch, Riggs attacks and is behind 0-2 on. Again, Davis pitched this spring at Vol State Community College, where in 22 appearances, he recorded a 5-1 record with a 7.11 ERA and 38 innings pitched. If Vol State Community College sounds familiar to you, well, he's got a few of his spring teammates on the Hoppers roster. There is quite a few members from the Vol State Community College now playing in the Hoppers uniform this 2026 year, so he's going against some of his former teammates. Riggs out towards right center field. This one's got some carry. It's going to be over the netting and over the wall. It's going to be another ground rule double for 2 runs. Declan Riggs brings both in and stands on second to make it a 7-1 ball game. Riggs with a big blast to make it a 5 spot in this inning and a 7-1 ball game. So now Reed Hayes is back up. And that means every batter in the lineup has come to the plate this inning. First pitch right down Broadway for strike 1. Some people say you bat around when everyone comes to the plate, as that one misses low, 1-1 count. Others say you bat around when it gets back to the first batter, whoever started that inning. I don't know. I like to say that you bat around when everyone's come up to the plate. I think that's not the right way to do it. Is Brady Davis snags that behind him. What a play. Gets it over the first. Sure, that goes against Hoptown, but as a baseball fan, Brady Davis, a stellar play to end an excruciating inning for the Railroaders. They give up 5 runs. The Hoppers add 6 runs of insurance. They lead 7-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th. Stay with us here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Seven one. Ross still on the mound to try to close out the front 2/3 of this ball game. Hoppers lead 7-1. Let's take a look at how this has all unfolded so far today. It was the second inning. The first run came in. Carson Knowles with an RBI double to bring in Reed Hayes. Then they walked in. The Raiders walked in. The Railroaders, walked in a run. That was Mark Harmon that scored to make it a 2-0 ball game. The Railroaders would eventually score a half inning later after being walked in from Carter Ross to make it 2-1. And then just a half inning ago, 5 runs came across for the Hoppers. They lead 7-1. They passed their run total from yesterday. And now trying to hold the lead right where it's at. First pitch is a ball from Carter Ross. Is now standing at the plate for the Railroaders. It's a 3 spot. Jacob Lott. 4 and 5 due up after him. Lott is 0 for 1 today with a fly out and a walk back in the 4th. 1-0 pitch, too far outside. Hoptown still has someone warming up in the bullpen. So we'll see how long Ross can go. If he stays very efficient this inning, he might get the full inning, but don't be surprised if it's a mid-inning pull. The 2-0 pitch, Ross leaves it upstairs, 3-0. I think right now is a testament to see what he's got left in the tank. Again, he has looked nothing short of dominant tonight. He had one inning slightly get away from him where he walked in a run, and outside of that, he's been lights out. Throws that one right down the stripe for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs, and no one on the bases here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 pitch, and blows it by him for strike 2. From being behind 3-0, Ross works back into the count to make it full. 2 men on deck, combined for only 1 hit so far today. So Ross has a chance to try to go 3 up, 3 down here yet again. That one's fouled backwards, and he stays alive. Jacob Lott from Erskine College, where he hit with a .217 batting average. Now the 3-2 pitch is blasted by him for another strikeout. Carter Ross adds another K to his ledger. For the 4th time today, Carter Ross has began the inning with a strikeout. Now that brings up the cleanup batter in the order, Easton Sullivan, who was the first strike on the day. That one was looking. Carter Ross delivers. Goes with a curve that misses outside. Sullivan had that strikeout and then that single in the 4th inning. We'll make it all the way around to the 3rd before the inning ended. This one towards deep left center field. That one's got quite a bit of carry. Center fielder loses it, and it goes over the fence. It is a solo home run to the deepest part of the field. The cleanup batter shows off his power with Fulton's first earned run of the year. That's also Fulton's first home run, as it didn't score yesterday. And a lot of people are looking up, and the people beside me are saying, didn't work. I got to assume, and a lot of people listening probably know this. They've been around this league a lot longer than me. They probably play a train sound. I just went over the PA and said choo-choo. They probably play a train sound after a run or a home run, which reminds me of my time back with the Hamilton Joes 2 years ago. We used to play a team called the Lima Locos up in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. They played this obnoxiously loud train horn. As now that one misses upstairs. Carter Ross still in the ball game with a 1-0 count now against Ellis Hurt, but they played this obnoxiously loud train sound, and it would play like it was an actual train horn, like a actual train horn they had in there, and they just pull it. Another one misses upstairs, same spot, they make it 2-0, and it would play from the press box, so it would be playing in there, and then just everyone else outside of it would hear it. You could not hear yourself talk. It was insane, so hopefully a little better here. The 2-0 pitch. It's waved by him, and he attacks at a pitch that's, again, way too high for the zone. So Carter Ross has stayed with that one. And coming off giving up a solo home run. And for pitchers, if you're going to give up a home run, you're happy with it being a solo shot. Another one's upstairs, 3-1. Carter Ross is not working down the mound very well right now. He's kind of releasing a little bit earlier, staying a little bit more upright. That's why all of his pitches are missing high. Now the 3-1 pitch from Carter Ross to Hurt, and blasted past him for strike 2. But again, home runs are whatever. But when they're a solo shot, especially when you have the lead, you can definitely shake it off and know, hey, a solo shot's way better than with runners on the base pads, obviously. The 3-2 from Ross, and he'll walk him. Still 1 out in the inning. And a runner on first. That'll bring up Owen Phillips, the second baseman, who's accounted for 5 outs in the field himself on the day. But with that walk, Carter Ross's day is complete, and he had a fantastic outing here on the day. 8 strikeouts against the Railroaders. Can't be upset with his starting performance as he goes 5 1/3 into this ball game. Ross's day is done. We'll have the new pitcher for Hoptown in a moment when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Hoptown Hoppers. He'll inherit a situation with only one out in the bottom of the sixth and a runner on first base as his team leads by 5 runs. But on the mound, it's Gage Montes from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, playing for his hometown. He actually just graduated high school, so hasn't played any college ball yet. This is his first look at it. He'll first face Owen Phillips, who's been a defensive menace today. First pitch here in the bottom of the sixth, swung on. The bat is released out of his hands, goes about 3/3 of the way up the line until it is finally caught by the third baseman, Dom Hartman. 1 pitch, 1 out. Pretty good start for the new pitcher. Let's talk a little bit about Gage Montes as he prepares to face J.R. North. Just graduated from Christian County High School, which if you're unfamiliar or not from the area, Hopkinsville is in Christian County. So those are the 2 main high schools, public high schools in the area. That one's a hit by pitch against J.R. North. So he'll be on safely and advance hurt over the second. Montes is committed to Freed Hartman, where, again, assistant coach Max Kirby spent the past year as a grad assistant, though I do not believe he's there anymore. And graduating from Christian County High School, which just ended their season against UHA, University Heights Academy, in the regional playoffs. And UHA is advanced for the first time to the state tournament, where 16 teams remain. And if you're unfamiliar with how Kentucky works, there's a small school tournament in the middle of their season. And at the end of the season, every school, no matter how big, small, level, who knows it, plays in the same tournament for the state title. So UHA is advancing for the first time. That's who he lost to, and there'll be 2 players from UHA joining us once their season ends. That one's way outside as he now battles Xander Smith. Gage Montes can play about anywhere. He can be listed as an infielder, pitcher, third baseman, whatever you want him to be. Here's the 1-0. Outside, they make it a 2-0. Again, those are the 2 main high schools, Hopkinsville High School and Christian County. They're actually going to consolidate into one school this upcoming year, which is quite fitting because Christian County was actually established through consolidation of 5 rural schools in Kentucky back in 1959. That one's called a strike, though it looked to be a little outside, honestly. But they'll be joining again Hopkinsville, which was the first public high school in the community established on Clay Street back in 1881 and renamed back in the early 1880s. That one's caught on a line in right field by Ryan McCartan for the 3rd out of the inning. Gage Montes works too quickly and gets them out of the inning. The Railroaders plate 1. They trail by 5 as we head to the final 3 innings of this ball game. Seventh inning of this Game 2 of the Ohio Valley League season here in Fulton, Kentucky. Again, I'm Colin Grithers, bringing you today's action here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. 7-2 lead for the Hoppers after winning 6-0 last night. They passed their run total an inning ago where they played at 5. Mark Harmon the lead off, and his first pitch is fouled on the right side. Brady Davis still on the mound for the Railroaders after he came in an inning ago. On deck is Carson Knowles, and when he comes up to the plate, we'll have a former spring teammate matchup. 0-1 pitch. Harmon to the left side. It's fielded by the shortstop Kuhn across the diamond quickly for out number 1. One up, one down quickly. Carson Knowles now up to face Brady Davis. The both of them were at Vol State Community College a season ago. Now, of course, Brady Davis played. He actually recorded the stats. So again, 22 appearances for him after he completed his sophomore year. His first pitch to his former teammate, or I guess spring teammate, if you will. Not former yet, as neither are leaving. Curveball that misses inside. But Carson Knowles didn't record a single stat, did not appear in any games, as another one misses this one, lone outside. 2 balls, no strikes, no one on the base pads with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Another one just misses. That was the closest miss so far this at-bat, though. Knowles is ahead big time, 3-0 in the count. On deck still Sam Slaughter. 3-0 pitch. Called a strike, just catching the outside half of the plate. Brady Davis working quickly from the windup, 3-1. Knowles attacks and fouls it off out of play. There's a bunch of fans here that line up kind of on the back side of the stands where there's a little opening. You can see towards the parking lot, just again right next to the field. And every time a ball is hit in foul territory, they are looking, itching to see if it hits a car out there. And he'll get Knowles and win the teammate battle. That one belongs to Brady Davis for strikeouts. They're itching to see if it hits a car, but they're also probably seeing if it hits their car and praying that it doesn't, which I don't blame them. That would be horrible. That's why whenever at Tiger Field, even though it's not as close to the field, the parking lot, I never get that close. Caden Slaughter goes around, tries to hold up, but not in time for strike 1. Another one outside. Just misses. He goes away from that curveball that's worked on him to get the strikeout swinging against Knowles. And the first pitch strike against Slaughter. We'll see if he goes back to it right here. The 1-1 from Davis goes to the fastball that catches the outer corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs as Brady Davis has gone 2 up, 2 down to get out of the inning with back-to-back Ks. Drop third strike, gets away from Sullivan. And he's going to reach first base safely. So it's a back-to-back strikeout, but not official third out there. Slaughter is aboard safely. Cade Wall now comes up to the plate. That one hurts as it's a passed ball. Really, really good pitch. Got the swing and miss from Slaughter. That curveball has been working phenomenally so far for Davis. Now faces Cade Wall. First pitch on the outside, called strike. Davis is quick on the mound. Doesn't want to spend much time between pitches whatsoever. The 0-1 way high and in. Cade Wall dances out of the way from getting plunked in the face. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis now takes a moment to reset, and that was set. Here's the light kick. The curveball beautifully dices into the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to it, as he has been firing all cylinders with it. The 1-2 goes to the curve, gets Cade Wall swinging on 1 out of the zone. That'll do it for the Hoppers in this one. But they still lead 7-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here in Fulton. All set for action here in the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Hoptown Hoppers baseball on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Gage Matzis still on the mound, and well, Cubs fans, you'll be happy to hear this. They just played the Harry Carey version of the 7th inning stretch here at the Fulton Railroader Stadium. Pretty fun to hear. Even though I'm a Reds fan, I enjoy it. I'll give them that one. Gage Matzis' first pitch of the inning outside for a ball. He faces right now in the order Jeremiah Bowen in the 9th spot. Then it's the top of the order to come against him. The 1-0. Way outside. Matzis got to rein it in a little bit. And it's his first pitches here in the Hoptown uniform. Where as of May 18th going into some tournament play, he had a 1.81 ERA with Christian County High School, home of the Colonels. 2-0 pitch, inside for a ball. Talked about how the two schools are consolidating. They'll become the Christian County High School Tigers, so they'll keep the Christian County name, but they'll take the nickname from Hopkinsville High School, the Tigers. Inside, it's a 4-pitch walk to begin the inning. But if there's anyone who can battle back from it, I believe it's someone with the IQ of Gage Matzis. I say it that way because, again, he was graduating with the final class of the current state of Christian County High School, where he was actually one of 2 salutatorians in his class. So, yeah, he's got some pretty good brains on him. Here's his first pitch. The next one way outside, bounced up. Mark Harmon throws down the second, and it's a late tag from Cade Wall as it skipped up into his stomach. But the backstop, as you could tell there, is wood. So it knocks off pretty well and bounces all the way back to Harmon. So he's able to make that throw. But Matzis has got to rein it in. He's missed by 4 wide so far. He's got a decent cushion of a lead, but don't want to play around with it too much. Deep blast to left field. Reed Hayes tracking back, and he's underneath it. Runner tags up from second to third, and will hold up after a really good throw. Throw to second, and the tag applied by Cade Wall, but just a tad bit late as Jeremiah Bowen gets back in time. Well, speaking of Cubs fans, it sounded like the Cubs fans in attendance as they all thought it would be a home run off the bat. If you ever gone to Wrigley, every fly ball is a home run apparently. There's my little knock for the Cubs as a Reds fan. There it is. I gave them too much credit as a divisional rival. I got to find a way to knock them back down. Though you can never knock the Reds down too much as we've been the doormat of the NL Central my whole life. As that one misses up. Oh, it's a called strike. Strike zone looks like it's expanded because I did not think that one hit. Not too biased here. I'll tell you when I think they get it wrong. No balls and 1 strike. Matzis delivers, goes with the slider, and it dips way out of the zone. Had a great bit of movement on it, but where that pitch started was the outside half of the zone against the righty at the plate. So it dips way out. If he starts that kind of on the batter, that's going to dip in perfectly on him. Here's the 1-1. Just misses from spotting the corner. Great miss from Matzis, especially compared to some of the other ones before that. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. There's a runner on second base. Still a 7-2 ball game. 2-1 inside, misses. Nick Cassi scoots out of the way and make it a 3-1 count. Cassi on the day. 0 for 3 with a pop out, a strikeout, and a line out, everything in the infield. Matzis now set from the stretch for the 3-1. Delivers and gets him swinging and missing. Take a long pause as Matzis tries to get out of this one. Here's the delivery. Out towards center field. Good chase in. It lands in no man's land. They're waving around the runner. They'll hold him up, though, late. Hayes puts on the brakes. Declan Riggs in the middle of the infield to cut off the throw. Runners are on the corners with only 1 out for the Railroaders. Another good bit of hitting that died. This is completely opposite from the field, Tiger Field. Carson Knowles talked to me about it yesterday. They noticed in practice, the Hoppers did, that the ball flies there. I mean, that thing gets around quite a bit. Here, everything has died for the most part, unless you're talking to the man on deck, Easton Sullivan, who had that solo home run to the deepest part of the field and that bad a go. But first, it'll be Jacob Lott at the plate. First pitch outside for ball one. With runners on the corners, the middle infielders are pinched in double play depth. Riggs holds on the runner at first, and Hartman about base level in the infield as another one misses 2-0. Contrary to every other pitcher we've seen so far for the Hoppers, which has been limited. It's only game 2. This is only the 4th pitcher we've seen in total this season for the Hoppers, but Montes has struggled finding the zone the most out of them all. 2-0 outside, good stop by Hartman. 3 balls and no strikes. Lott is 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out an inning ago. Excuse me. Remember the dangerousness of who's on deck. It was Sullivan who had the solo shot to center field. Right down the middle for strike one. If you load up the bases for him, who knows what could happen. He still wouldn't be the tying run. The tying run currently is in the hole. But things could get away from you in a hurry. Here's a delivery, and gets it by him with the fastball. Now a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners still on the corners. It's Bowman on third and Kasi on first. Lott still at the plate. Montes resets on the back half behind the rubber. Now steps on, set, delivers, and Lott stays alive. Foul ball over by the Hoptown dugout. Lott will circle the plate before stepping back in to the left-handed batter's box. Full count pitch, runner takes off. That gets through the 3-4 gap. Bowman will score. And it's 7-3. Only a single, and Kasi only advances the second. Now the score is 7-3. Back-to-back singles against Montes. It's either he's missed by quite a bit or he's given up some cheap singles. That's all the Railroaders need, though. They've struggled to get on base earlier. Singles in no man's land is all you need. That is better than anything you can ask for. Runners on first and second now. Montes goes with the slider that misses outside for ball one. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. No one warming up for the Hoppers. Easton Sullivan now at the plate. Most dangerous bat so far. So that one's a called strike. Borderline. But they'll give it to him. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Quick pause from Montes resets. Sullivan fouls it off behind him and makes it 1-2. Tying run right now is on deck for the Railroaders. You never know in baseball. Things can get away from you in quite a hurry. Also want to mention Fried Hartman, as that one's grounded over the Hartman. He'll flip it to second, over the first for the double play. They've got it to get out of the inning. Great composure from Hartman to give it over the wall, who gives it up to Riggs to end the 7th with a little bit of a scare, but as much damage is done, only 1 run comes across, and the Hoppers are going back to the plate, trying to add a little bit of insurance on their 7-3 lead. We'll be right back on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. We made it to the 8th inning here in Fulton County. It's the Hoptown Hoppers' first road game of the season with a 1-0 record, trying to advance to 2-0. They hold a 7-3 lead. They've been giving up a few runs here and there, but nothing too damaging. After they put up a 5-spot back in the 6th inning. They begin this inning with Easton Beatty at the top of the lineup at the plate. First pitch he sees is outside for a ball. It'll still be Brady Davis on the rubber. The 4th pitcher of the day for the Railroaders. The 1-0 pitch. Outside makes it 2-0. Almost to the point that Hoptown had Madisonville last night where they forced them to throw 5 different pitchers. The 2-0 goes to the slider and finds its way inside the zone for strike 1. Brady Davis already delivering the 2-1 pitch. Goes back to the slider. Thought about going around. It's a called strike either way. Beatty's at an even 2-2 count. But you might see a 5th pitcher in the 9th as someone's going out to the Railroaders bullpen to start warming up. The 2-2 pitch back to the slider that bounces in the opposite batter's box. So first batter of the inning has a full count. Beatty with his 4th plate appearance of the day. Has a pair of walks, 3 walks, excuse me. That's been the last 3 at-bats after starting out the game with a ground out. Swing is tipped backwards, and he'll get another shot at the full count pitch against Davis. Crowd holding in strong here with this game. Here's a 3-2 again, and blows it by Beatty for a strikeout. That's how the 8th begins. It's 8:50 local time here, and this is about the time that yesterday's game had ended, and we still have at least another inning to play. Ryan McCartan comes up for the 5th time today. He's 1 for 3 in his first game in the Hoptown uniform. Right up the middle, gets off the side of the mound, throw from short over the first in time. Great throw from Thomas Kuhn, and good adjustment to get it off the bag, off the mound, as it was detoured a little bit in its trajectory. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for Davis on the mound with the 6-3 ground out. Bring up Dom Hartman. Hartman 0 for 4 on the day as he pops up the first pitch on the right side in foul territory. And it is caught near the chalk by Xander Smith. 3 up, 3 down. Extremely quick work for the Railroaders. And Davis on the mound. They've got a shot to close down their 4-run deficit. 6 outs remain before the Hoppers can try to close out a 2nd victory of the season. We'll be right back to see if they can pull it off. Bottom of the 8th here in the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. 6, 7, 8 due up. Excuse me, 5, 6, 7 due up. Double guessed myself without looking. But Monta's still on the mound for the Hoppers. And 6 outs remain for the Railroaders as they look for their first win of the Ohio Valley League season. First pitch is up in the middle over to the right side. Cade Wall gloves it and throws to the first. 1 pitch, 1 out for Montes. That was Ellis hurt there. The 4-3 ground out to begin the bottom of the 8th. A nice start there. And now that'll bring up Owen Phillips, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. It's a strikeout and a pop out to the third baseman. His 2 that he's put in play. Swings past the first one, though he looked like didn't really want to. Didn't finish the full swing. No balls and 1 strike as Matzes still continues to work quickly. And it's 0-2 now. Swings by the first 2. Matzes played club ball for the Razorbacks, and if you look it up around this area, the Razorbacks are a very, very strong competitive team. 3 straight strikes for a strikeout. The first one for Matzes. Congrats to him for his first K in college baseball. He gets it against the second baseman and now faces J.R. North looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Over to the left side, stays fair of the chalk. He'll be rounding first hard and holds up before going to second. Reed Hayes, a strong throw in to Cade Wall at second base. It's a 2-out single for J.R. North. So quickly we move to the 8th spot with Xander Smith, who's 0 for 3. Excuse me, we're going to actually have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Ben Kaufman stepping up to the plate for the first time. First pitch he sees is a called strike. Ben, otherwise known as Bennett Kaufman from Montelo State Community College, just finished up his freshman year. Slugged .318, .429, and .802 slugging percentage. That's his basic line. So he's got an OPS above 1,200 this past year. The 0-1 pitch outside, leaving the count 1-1. Kaufman's coming in for Xander Smith, who was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts today. So looking to make a very tactical move to try to cut down this deficit. The 1-1, and gets Kaufman chasing after a pitch outside to make it 1-2. 1 out gets him out of this inning, and it looks like in the Hoptown bullpen, he's not fully warming up yet, but just starting the stretch out is Evan Woodward. The 1-2 is rung him up on strikes, gets him with the slider for strike 3. It's another K, the second one in college baseball for Gage Matzes. Back-to-back outs on the K. We head to the 9th as the Hoppers lead 7-3. They've got one more inning to add some insurance before they look to close out with their second win of the season. One inning to play here in Fulton, Kentucky for the Railroaders home opener against the Hoptown Hoppers. Hello, everyone. My name is Colin Crothers. If you're just now joining us, Hoppers lead 7-3 against the Railroaders. On the mound is Brady Davis, his first pitch of the ninth. To Declan Riggs is a swing and a miss. Riggs, the 0-1 that he waits on. Skips up way in front of him to even the count at 1 apiece. But yeah, the fans have not gotten enough of Brady Davis. He's looked pretty solid on the mound. A Clarksville, Tennessee native. Also happens to be where I'm staying with the Montoya family. Shout out to them for being fantastic people and hosts. Love being with them. Next pitch misses outside, 2-1 count. And the 2-1 pitch already from Davis. Declan Riggs fouls it off. Even the count 2 apiece. But again, if you're just now joining us, Hoppers led 2-1 at one point. And ended up putting up 5 runs back in the 6th inning. They'll lead 7-2. Now it's a 7-3 ball game. 2-2 pitch now from Brady Davis. The slow windup delivers, and Riggs stays alive with a foul ball. Riggs again transferring to Michigan University on the night is 1 for 4. And as what I said before his last at bat, he had 3 ground outs to the second baseman. He puts it anywhere else, he's going to get on. Well, put it over the fence but in the netting for a ground rule double. That one out towards center field. Jacob Lott tracks over into the gap and grabs it for out number 1. 1 for 5, Dave, will probably be how Riggs ends the day. And nothing bad at all as he had a 2 RBI ground rule double. That was his last time up. Now that brings up Reed Hayes in the 5 spot. Hayes still searching for his first base hit of the day. So that one misses high. 1-0 count. Hayes was the first run of the game, though he did reach via the air. 1-0 pitch. Hayes a dribbler over toward the shortstop Thomas Kuhn, who beats him by about 3 steps over the first base. 2 up, 2 down. Davis has made quick work of the Hoppers on the mound. It's a 6-3 ground out there. He's retired about 6 consecutive batters. In general, though, it has been 10 consecutive batters retired. He had 3 strikeouts when he came in the 7th inning, though one of those with a drop third strike. Next pitch misses to make it a 1-0 count as he now faces the catcher, Mark Harmon. Again, not the NCIS actor, just the Hoptown Hoppers catcher. 1-0 and misses. It's the 2-0 count. Harmon's one of those guys who's also naturally very fun to be around, gets along with everyone on this team as that one misses outside 3-0. You could tell throughout the week the Hoppers held a few different meet and greets, if you will. They had a Meet the Hoppers night. They also had an event at the Rotary Club. They had a few practices, and you saw, obviously he clicks with his midway teammates. That's who he hangs out with, but he's clicked with everyone off the bat for a full count, a 4-pitch walk, Fans are not very pleased with that one. They don't agree with the call, but Mark Harmon's one of those guys that is really important to have on a team because, one, he's very talented, is really good behind the dish, and has a great swing. But behind that, he helps mesh this team so well. So he walks. And with that, they're actually going to bring in a pinch runner. Not 100% who that is, honestly. Carson Knowles comes up to the plate with 2 outs. A runner on first. Here in the top of the 9th, still a 7-3 lead for the black and red. I'll say black and red because if I say red and black, I'll think of Nebraska, which is obviously a rival to the University of Iowa where I attend. First pitch he sees, misses outside. Who thought we'd get some Nebraska disses on an Ohio Valley League broadcast, especially because I believe one of the broadcasters attends Nebraska. I believe the broadcaster for the Paducah Chiefs attends there. I'll get along with him, but I'll definitely give him Give him a little teases here and there. Runner takes off. There's a swing on the left side. It's picked up. Fire across the diamond is in time. Pinch runner was going towards third, and it beats him by about a quarter of a step. Knowles with some good speed down there, but not in time. That'll be another 5-3 ground out. 3 outs remain for the Railroaders to try to make a comeback here on their home opening night. But Hoptown looks to spoil it with the 7-3 lead. We'll be right back on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Bottom of the ninth. Hoptown Hoppers look to spoil the home opener for the Railroaders here in Fulton County. And head coach Chris Benny elects to go to a closer. Evan Woodward comes into the ball game to hit the final pitches in this one. He'll be facing in the Railroaders order 9 in the top of the order, so it's Bowman at the plate. His first pitch misses high, got some good velo on it though. Bowman reigns from Saginaw Valley State, one of 2 players from there. The other one, obviously, Ryan McCartan, who's over in right field currently. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Woodward. And that one zoomed by him for a strike. He's got a lot more velo than I think we've seen from, I would definitely say Gage Montes, but possibly Carter Ross as well. The even 1-1. Misses high. Can't be brought in. This past season, Woodward in 13 appearances and 13.2 innings pitched at 8.56 ERA, where he gave up 16 runs. Only 13 of them were earned, though. 11 walks against 14 strikeouts, so did better in that ratio as that one runs inside for a ball, 3-1 count. You look at this past season, it's redshirt freshman season for Woodward, and his collegiate debut against Lake Erie, he pitched a scoreless inning with 3 strikeouts. As here's the 3-1, and that misses the Bowman. It's a leadoff walk. Not exactly what you're looking for, but you've got some room to spare. As out the top of the order with Thomas Kuhn coming up. But Woodward in his collegiate debut pitched a scoreless inning with 3 Ks, and his first save against Purdue Northwest. It was also a scoreless inning with just 1 strikeout. So a lot of his firsts this past year were scoreless innings with a couple of strikeouts. As the first pitch now comes in for a strike. So maybe his first here in a Hoptown uniform will also be a scoreless inning. We'll see if the pattern holds. Kuhn with his 5th at-bat of the day. 1 for 4 so far, as that one's a called strike, and he falls behind in the count 0-2. We had a single back in the 5th inning. Ended up being the only hit that inning as the other 3 batters that came up to the plate all got out. The 0-2 from Woodward. That one slashed to the right side out of play. Woodward has a really strong 3-pitch mix as well that he can use to really full batters in the plate. Then now set again for the righty-righty matchup. No balls, 2 strikes and a runner on first. Still no outs. Woodward delivers, misses low. 1-2 now. This one popped up on the right side. It's in fair territory. Declan Riggs just dances around in the same spot trying to read it and eventually corrals it for out number 1. Still the runner on first is Jeremiah Bowman. And now comes up Nick Kazi. He's 1 for 4 on the day as well with a single back in the 7th inning. Needs to replicate that here. The tying run is in the hole, so still plenty of work to do for the Railroaders as that one skips up to the backstop. Well, backstop catcher, if you will. Not to the actual backstop. I was going for a fun term there, not the time for it. 1 ball and no strikes. Delivers again. That one just a tad inside to make it a 2-0. Woodward also from Michigan, reigning from Rochester, Michigan, which is only about an hour 24 from University Center, which is where Saginaw Valley State is. That one misses. Now it's 3-0. Starting off this at-bat the same exact way he did Bowman, who he walked. And then got ahead real quickly against Kuhn. But Kasi has struggled against. That's a 4-pitch walk. So Kasi will stroll down the first. Runners are on first and second, both via the free pass. And you've got room to work, but you got to be real careful. Now the tying run is on deck, and the go-ahead, the winning run, is in the hole. Still a ways to go. They definitely got to be careful. Jacob Latt, the 3 spot, comes up and on deck as the oh so powerful Easton Sullivan. His first pitch, the lot too far outside. He is missing a lot arm side right now. Not really getting glove side. He's releasing a little early. So if he buries down the mound a little bit longer, that thing's going to hit the bottom half of the zone in an instant. Does it again, goes with the off speed and releases it out of the hands too early. It makes it a 2-0 count with the ball. He's got the velo for it. Hasn't spotted it. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-0 count. With a 7-3 lead in Hoptown's favor. 2-0, and that one he buries in the bottom of the zone for a strike. A lot of moans and groans from the fans in attendance. I would say I think that one did catch it. Was a little low, but he's been pretty consistent with that spot all night long. Woodward now set for the 2-1. Delivers and gets it a little bit higher and gets him the swing and miss to even the count at 2 apiece. Woodward at Stony Creek High School, where he attended, was the team captain and made all regional in 2024 as a senior. And wants to continue that leadership here in the 9th and command a win. Just low. Count's now full. Must have been just a tad bit lower than that other one that all the fans were upset being called a strike. Then make it the first strike of the at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Woodward shakes off the first call and now accepts the second sign. Here he is, the leg kick toward the plate, and just misses. The bases have been loaded all via the walk, and this one might get real interesting, folks. Buckle in, it ain't over yet. Bases are loaded for Easton Sullivan, who had a solo home run all the way back in the 6th inning. Remember, that was, and you can see on your screen, pretty much dead center field. Had a lot of carry on it, a lot of backspin, as Woodward has a meeting with Riggs over at first and his catcher, Mark Harmon. And now there'll be a meeting for the offense. And, yeah, you're in an interesting spot right now. You've got bases loaded. You do need everyone. Every run kind of matters. You're kind of taught when, like, you need a lot of runs that you don't matter too much. You don't want advance to be too aggressive. But right now you've got the tying run at the plate and the go-ahead, the winning run, on deck. You've got a really strong bat at the plate who's shown his power. That's one of his 2 hits tonight, as he's 2 for 4. You're definitely not looking for a squeeze. I would be shocked, as that would be the craziest thing ever. Go ahead and give the other team an out in this situation, especially when you already have one. If you had no outs, maybe. But still, no way. Swing away, look for the right side, is what you're telling Sullivan. His first pitch outside for a ball. You got to be careful. You're pitching the outsides. You don't want him to blast one again. But also, he's looking for that right side to bring in a couple of runs. So the right side is, again, extremely shallow. Right up the middle, right to the shortstop. Slaughter flips over the wall, over the first. Riggs with the stretch. He got him. That ends it. It's a double play. The Hoptown Hoppers secure their first win on the road. They win 7-3, even though they had the bases loaded scare. My goodness, they advanced to 2-0 on the year. The Fulton Railroaders dropped to 0-2 in their home opener on the year. Railroaders gave a scare at the end. Carter Ross looked fantastic off the mound to start the day. The bats came alive throughout, but especially back in that 6th inning where they just unloaded everything. And it ends on a 6-4-3 double play. Yeah, they had that weird netting situation which resulted in a pair of ground rule doubles, plenty of RBIs, and that proved to be the winning runs in this game. Carter Ross looked great. Gage Matas got his first innings of work. Evan Woodward had a little bit of scare, but remember, the defense can help you quite a bit. We kept saying that last night. This defense is extremely impressive, and they were impressive in all aspects again tonight. The Hoppers win 7-3 against the Railroaders. They'll have action again tomorrow when they take on the Henderson Flash back home at Tiger Field. You want to come out and watch this team, no doubt about that whatsoever. They're a lot of fun, a lot of talent. This is a team you don't want to miss. Get out to the ballpark if you can't. You can catch us again right here on the YouTube page or on 95.3 WHOP, The Farm, as well. For myself, I'm Colin Crothers, and on behalf of the entire Hoptown Hoppers organization, thanks for joining us. Hoppers win 7-3 and advance to 2-0 on the year. We're wishing you a great rest of your night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.